was in the water in Antarctica?
Look, you got to realize when they uncovered Lake Vostok back in 2012, right? It hadn't been exposed for roughly 15 million years. They assumed that because there were no observable life forms on land, that the same would apply for the water, but they'd realized that was a tragic misjudgment on the final day of drilling when they removed the last ice cap that was covering the water. And so, as the crew all stood there, right, arrogantly surrounding this water hole, as this hydraulic arm clamped onto the final ice cap and got ready to lift it, they began feeling these kind of rumbling sensations underneath the ground, right? And the arm operator kind of looks at the team leader and says, "What the hell's that?" And with a nonchalant expression, he just kind of responds, "Oh, it's probably just built up water pressure trying to make its way out. Go ahead and let it." The operator goes ahead and begins lifting the ice cap, and the crew all just watch intensely, anticipating being the first modern people to gaze into these prehistoric waters. And as the cap gets just high enough to expose the water, these utterly massive, kind of white, almost translucent, veiny tentacles just emerge out of the depths of the opening, simultaneously grabbing 3 or 4 of the crewmates and sucking them into the abyss of these waters. In that moment, the remaining crew tried to just take off running in a state of shock, right? But they had no idea what they'd unleashed. While running, one of the crewmates says to the team leader, "John, can that thing get on land?" And as he says to him, "Buddy, cephalopods around heavily contrasted terrain can get on land. You think that thing would feel the difference between water and ice?" The ground literally just shakes as this thing braces its tentacles around the rim of the opening and emerges, letting out a screech full of 15 million years of suppression. John dives into this vehicle with one other crewmate, and as he revs it up, he looks in the rear view, waiting for the last 2 men to make it, while this massive 40-foot tall white-toned kraken just glides across the ice like it was on skates, reaching out a tentacle at a time and sweeping each of those men off their feet. John just drowns out the sounds of their screams as he punches the gas, trying to get as far away from this creature as possible. They were airlifted out of this region, and this entire faction of the continent has since been considered an unpermittable restricted access area.